What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We got about an hour and a half. We'll be doing our live stream, our basically vent session. If you're a channel member, you'll be able to call in, and you'll definitely be able to vent about what's going on with the Cowboys. It's kind of crazy as I think about it. The Dallas Cowboys have to be the worst team ever in negotiation-wise. I mean, seriously. It's a good thing they're a mom and pop shop that they can't get fired, because the stuff that they do, I don't know that anybody else could get away with it, because they talk this big thing like they're big negotiators, and in the end, they pay more than the going rate for guys. That's one of the reasons why people say, yeah, I'd like to become a Cowboy, because they know they can get fleeced. I think about Roy Williams. When they traded for Roy Williams, they went to the line and said, hey, how about a number one and a third? Nothing. Joey Galloway, 2 number ones. Nothing. Amari Cooper, at least you look at it and say, okay, over the 3.5 years he was here, at least with the $57 million he made, at least you got 27 touchdowns and like 3,700 yards. I mean, that's at least something for your money. But the thing is this, okay, I look at least with Washington and the Colts trade. The Colts played it like, no, we're keeping the guy. We're not interested in trading. We're still deciding. They didn't go through and hear the dirty laundry about things that they felt, that, he's not a good leader, that he has a tendency to pout, that he's very headstrong. You didn't hear that from the Colts or even the Eagles until after the fact. Because when you start denigrating a guy and saying that he's crap and, you're kind of saying he's not a team player and he's giving on plays, you devalue him. I'm not going to say that it was the worst idea in the world to move on, because in the end, you can't pay everybody. Because here's the reality. Here is the reality. There's $208 million. You divide that by a 53-man roster, that comes out to $3.9 per player. 53 players, $3.92 million is what it averages out per player. So if you have a guy who's $22 million, in essence, that's as much as paying 5 players that average salary. So you think about D-Law. That's like paying 6 guys. So instead, to make up when you make those moves, of course, you end up paying guys that are $1 million here or $2 million there, or you make a 2-year deal and it leaves some dead money. It costs you later. I guess in some regard, we should look and say, well, at least they got something out of it. Because Des Bryant, you devalued him, you ended up waiting too long, and you screwed him over. You got nothing from it other than dead money. And as we sit at this moment already, we have $17 million in dead money. Last year was 25. The year before that it was 15. Dead money is mistakes you made on the contracts. Zeke Elliott's contract, not just Zeke, I don't mean to point the finger solely at Zeke Elliott, but that contract was freaking ridiculous. It was freaking ridiculous. The fact that you paid him the contract that you did with no escalation clauses, no outs or anything else, for a running back into 2027. Guys, you realize this is 2022? How do you honestly believe that any running back is going to be good that long? You are talking about 11 years of trying to get him to be able to understand a running back, because he got in here in 2016. You signed to a second contract that goes to 27. I don't don't understand how you can in any way justify that contract. You went on and said, we're not going to reset the market. We're not going to overpay. You got him then, he holds out, and then he's not ready to start the season. And then you overpay him because you get desperate. And now you're looking back because you screwed it up. Now, there's not much we can do about it. Okay, let's get a guy who's productive and let's get rid of Amari Cooper. Okay. D-Law. D-Law is one of those situations that you might have been better off having let him go like they did with Trey Flowers. Fine. You're going to sign him? Sign him. But instead, you wasted from the end of the season, January, February, March, April. 4 months. Or was it May? 4 or 5 months of time that he could have been working on getting his body ready. But because of your negotiation, where you turned out and made him one of the highest paid in football, and he hasn't played anywhere near one of the best players in football. And again, going back to this $27 million, which is like paying 6 guys. It's like paying 6 guys. You're not getting 6 guys worth of performance out of him. Then there's Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith. Again, you paid him a year early. Why you paid him a year early? I don't know. But you paid him after one good season of a guy who had a injury past. We're still paying Jalen Smith. Let me say that one more time. We're still paying Jalen Smith because of the contract that the Dallas Cowboys negotiated with him. We've got La'el Collins, who again, another big contract. You've given him permission to try and make a trade. If he's traded before June 1st, you still take a $13 million cap hit, and you only save $1.3 million. I don't understand how any of these moves make us a better team. The only way that La'el Collins helps us is you make him a June 1st cut. At least you get $13 million. Now, granted, if you make a trade for him, you can get something in return. But since Amari Cooper, that you only got a swap of 6th-round draft picks and a 5th-round pick, I have to say Amari Cooper is much more valuable than La'el Collins. Much more valuable than La'el Collins. So the way the Dallas Cowboys trade, maybe you get a 6th-round pick for La'el Collins to save what? There's no saving. There's no saving. None. By trading. Helps the player, at least he can go where he wants to. But you don't save anything on the contract. It's the same as you cut him. Oh, I'm sorry. You can get a draft pick. So let's say, hypothetically, you get a trade pre-June 1st. You take a $13 million cap hit. You get whatever draft pick, and let's say it's a 6th-round draft pick because, again, I think he's better than Amari Cooper. You take that 6th-round pick, it costs you $13 million. You're better off making him a post-June 1st cut and at least getting $10 million. The rest is money that you borrowed off his contract from previous years. More mistakes that they made. And so, here's the problem. We're still in this vicious cycle because the Dallas Cowboys mismanage themselves. You don't have money to go out and get good players. You only get pieces that are temporary fits that still cost you more money than getting good players that stick. Yeah, such is the life of a Dallas Cowboy fan. Cowboys have fucked it up. Excuse me. See you guys in an hour and 20 minutes. Peace.